To an observer, Argentine tango appears to be an effortless conversation between two bodies. But step onto a crowded floor at 2 in the morning and the grace disappears. You are performing hours of navigation in a dense grid of moving people, maintaining a tight physical connection in near darkness. This sustained physical contact is a covert athletic endurance event. These dancers maintain a load-bearing posture, absorbing their partner's kinetic energy for miles of movement. As the night progresses, the body begins to compensate for fatigue. Core muscles that stabilize the spine start to waver, and ankles supporting heavy weight begin to roll outward. What began as a responsive dialogue becomes a struggle for balance, as partners unintentionally lean on each other for support. Social dance classes focus on the vocabulary of steps, but they rarely prepare your joints for this level of repetitive stress. Surviving a multi-day tango marathon requires a 3-phase conditioning protocol designed to stabilize your biomechanical foundation. Establishing an emotional connection with a partner is only possible once you have engineered a body that no longer struggles to simply remain upright. Phase 1 focuses on your vertical axis, often called the plumb line. This is a perfect vertical alignment that runs from the crown of your head through your leveled hips and into the center of your supporting foot. You can test this by standing on one foot for 20 seconds. If you can do that, try closing your eyes. This forces the body to rely on proprioception, your internal sense of where your limbs are in space. In a dark milonga, this internal awareness is your primary tool for staying on axis. Stability begins at the ankle. High heels create a constant risk of inversion, where the foot rolls sharply outward. Using low-resistance bands to strengthen the lateral muscles on the outside of the calf creates a protective sleeve that holds the ankle in a neutral position. To prevent the body from abruptly popping up during a turn, you must also train for eccentric control. Slow, rhythmic calf raises build the stabilizing muscles needed to release the heel just enough to skim the floor, keeping your connection to the ground. By locking down the core and fortifying the ankles, you create a stable transmission line. Your partner no longer feels an unpredictable wobble. They feel a grounded, reliable embrace. Once the axis is stable, the next challenge is rotation. On a crowded floor, you must execute tight pivots, called ochos, without using the outward momentum that would cause you to collide with other couples. This is achieved through dissociation, or the ability to isolate your ribcage and rotate it independently from your pelvis. Training this isolation, such as using a chair to fix the hips in place while twisting the torso, turns your core into a coiled spring. You are generating potential energy within your own frame, allowing you to turn on a dime without relying on swinging limbs for power. To drive a 180-degree pivot, you must actively press your heels together as you turn. This action recruits both the internal and external hip rotators simultaneously, providing the torque necessary to rotate cleanly through your center. Mastering this internal torque allows you to rotate within your own footprint. You protect your own balance, and by extension, the balance of your partner. In the final hours of a marathon, your legs will feel heavy, yet the caminata, the tango walk, still requires absolute precision. Tango walking is a controlled fall-catch sequence. You must roll through the entire foot, reaching with the toe and lowering the heel slowly. This absorbs the body's weight without any jarring transitions. Moving backward requires even more control, as you project the leg behind you while the supporting knee takes the load. Exercises like single-leg deadlifts and back lunges build the eccentric strength needed to project the leg without collapsing into the step. Because dance consists of high-intensity intervals, you also need cardiovascular endurance. Low-intensity cross-training like swimming or cycling builds the stamina needed to prevent your muscles from hitting a failure point before the sun comes up. Muscular endurance and cardiovascular health are the only factors that preserve the grace and safety of the dance when central nervous system fatigue reaches its peak. Tango requires a strange contradiction. To reach a state of total physical and emotional relaxation, you first need immense hidden physical strength. Conditioning eliminates the gap between what you want to perform and what your body can handle. When you execute a rapid leg sweep, or boleo, your upper body stays serene, your core managing the whip-like energy of the leg. When your ankles, core, and stamina are functionally bulletproof, The constant mental management of your own mechanics disappears. You are finally free to move past the physical checklist and surrender entirely to the music and your partner. The path to a romantic connection on the dance floor is paved with disciplined biomechanical work in the gym.